Well, hello there, everyone. I'm Esther Bartkiw. I'm a core belief therapist, intuitive and energy reader, super fan and student of astrology. And I combine psychological methods, tip tools, and techniques with energy healing and spirit-filled messages to give grounded, effective guidance and processing to my clients so that they can make change and transformation in their lives. Today, I want to talk to you about fear of success. It is a topic, it is an issue that comes up a lot when I'm doing readings, but particularly when I'm doing core belief sessions with people. Fear of success, sometimes it is coupled with fear of failure. So sometimes people say, I have fear of failure. We clear the fear of failure and they're like, oh, but I can't move forward because now fear of success. What if I become really successful? So sometimes in people's lives, it's one or the other, and sometimes it's both, like two ends of the stick, and we need to collapse that stick so that there is no fear of failure, no fear of success, and just moving forward. Now, what I want to talk to you about today is how this fear of success showed up in someone's life, a client that I recently worked with who has given me permission to speak about it on a very general level. And then if you relate with how it showed up for her, what I offer you, give you some tips on how you can troubleshoot this on your own in your life. Okay, hopefully create some ahas and some awareness. So we started off by doing a reading. She connected with me. She wanted me to do a reading. My readings are based on question and answer. And she was talking a lot about her business. She's an entrepreneur, about growing it, stumbling blocks. And what came forward was fear of success. Now, as we were in the reading, I saw very clearly, I said to her, do you know that show, Let's Make a Deal? Now, I'm thinking about when I was a little girl, the Let's Make a Deal. Apparently, there's a new version of it. I don't know anything about it. So I'm thinking about when I was a little girl, Let's Make a Deal. And I said, I can see you. It's like you're in a Let's Make a Deal, and there's 3 doors for you to choose from. And each door has something behind it that you really want in your life. I said, there's no booby prize, right? Because in Let's Make a Deal, there was always, will you trade the $100 for what's behind the curtain? Will you trade what's in the box for what's behind, the door? And there was always a risk that maybe you might get the booby prize, right? The goats instead of the car. And I said, you're standing in front of the door. It's like your higher self is saying there, just choose a door. They're all great doors. And the guarantee is behind each door, there is something that you want to achieve and create in your life. And I said, and I'm looking at the doors, and you can see that the doors are connected. So as soon as you open one door, the connections to the other ones will open. So really, you're going to get all of those 3 things that you really want in your life because they're all connected. You just got to get the ball rolling. But I see her, it's like, she won't open the door. So it was interesting because it's like, here's the success. Here's everything you want. There is no booby prize. You open one door and then the second and the third one's going to open and it's all there. So I'm doing this reading and she's like, okay. And I said, well, we need to investigate then. Why are you holding back? And what came to me, because I was doing a reading at that point, is it was fear of success. What if I achieve all this and it's not as good as I expected? That the fear was she had conjured in her imagination what these manifestations would translate to, what they would look like. There was an expectation, there was an idea. And yet she was holding on to a fear of, what if I get all that and it's not up to my expectations? What if I realize that I spent all of this time and all of these years trying to create this, and I was like, She was holding herself back because this, what if the success is not as wow as she thought it would be? And so let's not even check it out. It was a protection program going on. So I got her a whole bunch of information. I said, okay, you sit with this information. That's what readings are. I'm giving you information. You decide what you want to do. And then a couple of weeks later, she emailed me back and she said, well, you know what? I sat with that, and I hate to say it, but yeah, it all rings very true. So now we're doing core belief sessions to get to the root of these issues. You know, where did this all come from? So if this is something, and the root will be very different from person to person. Okay, this is not one size fits all core belief therapy, but there are common threads that if you relate to this, and you've got a fear of success because what if it's not as great as you thought it would be? This comes up a lot in relationships, especially if somebody has wanted a relationship for a very long time. And finally, there's somebody there to develop and create a relationship with, and they pull themselves back because they think, after all this time, what if being in a relationship is not as great as I thought it would be? What if it's going to be more problems than not? And they don't even offer themselves the opportunity to investigate it, to check it out. So where you might want to start off is turning within and connecting with that part of you, first of all, that fear of success. And gently bring it into a conversation with you, right? You want to, first of all, just find out about it, where it lives in your body. How does it react, respond? How does it speak with you? Does it send you thoughts? Does it show up in your dreams? Maybe it tightens your chest or gives you an upset stomach every time you want to take a step forward towards success. Maybe it flat out just comes out and says, no, 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 you're not doing that. You know, the second guessing techniques, whatever it might be. And start to get to know it. Okay, it will become very familiar to you quite quickly. And then find out, like, okay, when did you first start fearing success? How old was I? Okay, let's say it says 5 years old. And you say, what was going on? What was the situation at that time when you started to fear success? And find out about the situation and who is there, and outside influences. Was there a teacher there? Was there a parent there? Was there brother or sisters there? Was there somebody there and you went for something and they laughed at you, right? They laughed at you. And that's reverberating inside of your body. In that situation that created this fear of success, what decisions did you come to? What conclusions did you come to? What did you start to believe about life and other people and success and your abilities and your talents and your desires and the things you wanted? And when you started making those decisions, what strategies did you start implementing to support those limiting decisions? And are they still playing out now? Are you still doing this now? You want to find out everything, because there has been a whole belief system. It's not just fear of success. There's a whole belief system or paradigm that has been built around that incident, that decision, that conclusion, that situation that happened way back then. We got to unravel it. We've got to unravel it. You might want to ask questions like, okay, that happened at 5, but did you have a fear of success again after that? Oh yes, at 8, at 12, at 18, at 32, at 45. Okay. And you might say something like, Did you add any other strategies? And often an answer that comes up is, no, I didn't add any new strategies, but I just locked down even harder. Right? I just locked down even harder. I shouted more in your head. I made the uneasiness in your stomach even stronger so that you wouldn't move forward. Another question you can ask is, all right, I can see you were protecting me. You were protecting me from disappointment, from expectations not met. You were protecting me from being laughed at or ridiculed or thinking I'm not good enough. I see that you were doing that, but do you see any consequences to what you are doing? And if the part says, no, I don't see any consequences to what I'm doing, then you can say, hey, well, let me show you. Let me show you. You know, when I was 23, I wanted to start my own business and I had everything set up, but you came up telling me, don't do it. It's not going to work. It's not going to be good. People are not going to like what you have to offer. And because you were such a strong voice, I didn't do it. And I wish I did, because that was my joy. And then now here I am at 45 years old. And I want to give another go at building this dream, this business, this entrepreneurship. And you're holding me back from living my dreams, from creating something great for me and that can help lots of people. Now, often when you have that type of discussion, there's like a ding, ding, ding that happens inside with the subconscious. And it's like, oh my gosh, I didn't know I was doing that. I thought I was helping you. I thought I was protecting you. By the way, I didn't even realize that you were no longer 5 years old and you're 45. That happens a lot. And then you've got to update this part of you that has been so out of date, you know, that thinks you're still 5 years old and needs protection. And you're like, oh, I'm 45 and I don't need this protection anymore. In fact, you're holding me back. So an inner update needs to happen as well. But you keep asking questions and you keep gathering information and you keep showing that I know you meant this to help me, but this is actually happening. And then at some point, you know, in the sessions, we ask the part, well, what do you think about it that I'm just using the example of a business. I want to build this business and it's going to be my joy because I love it, but I also want to help other people. What do you think about what I want? Now, often, not all the time, but often they'll say, oh, that sounds really great. That really sounds really great. And then you just say, okay, but if you continue doing what you're doing, holding me back, being afraid of disappointments, and it might not be as we expect, I'm not going to be able to create that. Would you be willing to stop all of that? Yes. And in the stopping of that, would you be willing instead to help me? So instead of holding me back, saying, no, don't go there, you instead send me messages of, you can do this. And if it doesn't work out to your expectation, we're just going to turn it around. You can do this. And so you see, you build up an inner cheerleader inside of you. That's the support. People always say, I need support, I need support. And they're looking for support outside of themselves. And it's fine to look for support outside of yourselves. We all need support, someone to talk to, someone to help us through, someone to teach us, but really building up that inner support inside that is with you all the time. Right? It's not reliant on other people being present. It is with you. That's the support we're looking for. And so bringing that part online to support you, to stop what it is doing and to support you to move forward. Wow, that's part of the inner strength. That's part of the inner power. Okay? So doing the inner work, when you find out and you start having realizations, I've got fear of success, and that fear of success is because what if it doesn't turn out the way I want? What if there's a disappointment according to expectations? And using that as a jumping off point to really find out what is going on inside, what is the whole system, and begin to look at it piece by piece. And by doing that, you collapse it a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, until it's not there anymore. And when it's not there, that means you're in neutrality and you can establish something else. And in greater consciousness, you establish something that is more supportive for you. Okay, so please take this information and, apply it to your life. Do your own troubleshooting. I always say to people, do your own inner work. And then okay, so use this information as a jumping off point to turn within, do your own inner work. And if you ever get stuck, know that there are people like me who, this is what we love to do, is help people to troubleshoot these limiting belief systems and clear them out to get you moving forward, creating the life that you want to live. Again, I'm going to put a link below if you want to find out more about either my readings or the inner work sessions. And I hope this was helpful to you. If you have any questions about what I discussed here, just put them in the comments section below. I'm always looking through them, and I'd be more than happy to answer your question for you. All right, everybody, ciao for now.